Welcome to our YouTube video on blockchain technology, the revolutionary system that's changing the way we think about trust and transactions. Blockchain uses a distributed ledger system to keep all records that have ever been registered on the blockchain. The records are trusted by proof of work. More on this later. Miners also play a significant role, and the two most important issues they are responsible for solving are 1. Permanently validating transactions. 2. Adding new value into the existing system. Miners can be individuals, however, over time, many large companies have been formed, such as Genesis Mining, where you, as an individual, can join and rent their mining facilities. There are many other miners that over the years have created a pool, and many of them also offer to join these pools. The miners are sealing the blocks, which itself can take an enormous amount of computing power, assuring that it cannot be easily replicated. There are multiple methods that each miner may use for the validating processes. Some of the miners may use different software, even creating their in-house made software to speed up the authentication process. However, it doesn't matter what software they use, as all of the work will be checked. Miner gathers broadcasted transactions, checks and seals them into a new block. A miner receives Bitcoin as a reward for each sealed block that is added to the blockchain. A block is created about every 10 minutes. Therefore, 144 blocks are created each day. As I mentioned before, the miners who have successfully added a new block into a blockchain get awarded a degree of Bitcoin. Reward of each new block creation was 50 BTC from 2008 until 2012. The reward for a new block gets halved every 4 years. Therefore, from 2012 until 2016, the award for each new block used to be 25 BTC. Currently, since 2016 until 2020, the award to a miner for a new block that is added to the blockchain is 12.5 Bitcoins. However, from 2020, it will be only 6.25 Bitcoins until 2024. This process will be continued until 2140, until the last Bitcoin will be created. Block creation 1. Start a new block. Even if the miners are halfway done validating a block, eventually, they will drop everything and concentrate on starting a new block. 2. Select a new transaction. This is when the miners are choosing from thousands of operations that are broadcasted over the network. 3. Check priority of the transaction. This time the miners can go back to number 1 by starting a new block if they find that the transaction they have selected previously is not that significant. However, if the priority is high, the miners may go on and move to the next step. 4. Check that the transaction is valid. This is a process that every miner must check. There is no exception of avoiding this step for any miner. However, if the transaction is found to be faked or not valid, the miners have to stop the process, go back to number 1, start a new block and get another, hopefully, valid transaction. 5. Accept the transaction. If the previous transaction was tested as a valid transaction, it must be accepted. 6. Seal the transaction. Again, if the transaction has been found valid and accepted, now it's time to seal that transaction. 7. Add the transaction to the transaction tree inside the block. This process can only be done once all previous steps have been verified. 8. Check for the size of transactions. Miners check if enough transactions in the tree to seal the block. If not, they wait till enough transactions accumulate. Therefore, the miners must go back to number 2, selecting a new transaction again and again, until there are sufficient transactions for sealing the block. 9. Check interruptions. This is the process where the miner must make sure that no other miners have sealed the block in the meantime with the same transactions inside the block. 10. Seal the block. Once there are enough transactions for sealing the block, the miners will seal the block. 11. Broadcast the block. The miners must broadcast the new block that has been sealed. However, if the miners have been interrupted within the block sealing process, they might have to start a new block all over again. 12. Start a new block. This is the next step in the process. However, as you see, we are now back to step number 1. Miners may get interrupted. If another block with same transaction sealed, it won't be accepted. Therefore, you must start a new block. If you tell your friend, who has never heard of blockchain and thinks that he or she is not affected, try to explain that everyone is affected by the blockchain. Although blockchain will not take over the world from one day to another, and it might require a decade or two. However, everyone is affected. Blockchain is also known as the future of money. Even though streaming money sounds weird to some, it not only will happen but already began nearly a decade ago and will not stop. Data protection using blockchain will be very secured and always will provide the truth. Because this technology enables us to become our own banker, we might not require having banks anymore in future. Still, because we have to look out for what we have, certain its skills will help us to be safer from cyber criminals. Once you understand how easy it is to keep your valuables safe online, you also will realize that it is even easier than opening a bank account. Therefore, the changes for the young and the next generation will speed up the process of learning about the crypto world. Of course, some people may have to learn the hard way, as many people have been hacked, and only after begin to invest in learning and implementing security. Still, time of blockchain has begun, and it will change the world. Average people with no technical background wouldn't believe it and probably say that blockchain itself isn't capable of anything. However, software developers, security experts, large financial institutions, fintech startups, and banks already have paid a keen interest, as well as have begun to invest and create their protocols. Intel, Microsoft, Cisco Systems, Dell, and many more large, high-end technology firms are already all over the blockchain and its little intricacies. Therefore, the days are counting to reach the big bang of transformation, the technology of the future, or I should say, the next internet. Now, here's a question for you, our valued viewers. How does the reward for mining a new block change over time in the Bitcoin blockchain? Leave your answer in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting discussions on cutting-edge technologies like blockchain. See you in the next video.